Alright, it's Wednesday morning up by Colehurst. We're taking a look at this fall rye, and it looks like it has recovered extremely well from frost damage. You see the odd torch tip on it here and there, but it's coming through and growing rapidly now. So this is going to be ready for herbicide application later this week. Okay, here I wanted to show something interesting I'm finding. This is a field seeded to durum on the 27th. Some of it was dry seed. It's just starting to germinate now. We've got some moisture here. But this is the difference between a field that's been treated with Cruiser versus a field that's been treated with, say, a composted tea product. I don't want to name names. Now, here's a nice fat wireworm right here. And I haven't squished him or anything. He's still very much alive, but he's very, very lethargic and slow. And here's the seed that he was feeding on. Now you can see that he did chew right on the end of this seed. And I found him right beside this seed in the seed row. But you can see he's just sitting there. He's not active. He's been paralyzed, and he's gonna basically not feed for the next several months, more than likely. So this is what we want to see when we find wireworms in the field. You want to find them beside a seed that's partially eaten, and you want to see the wireworm not moving. So heck of a lot better than the fields with the compost tea product, where the wireworms are actively trying to escape as you dig them up. Alright, here's one of the wireworm traps that we put out last week. So this is a field of barley. It is treated with Cruiser. So it'll be interesting to see what we're finding here for adult click beetles. Oh, looks like a whole 2 beetles, so not much, pretty good. So we'll throw that back in and check it again in a week. Alright, here's one of my little 10 by 10 foot plots I've been spraying as I go around this spring of Actigrow 22% humic acid. So this was sprayed about a month ago now, and you can see there's no difference. Now here there's only been about 4 millimeters of precipitation since I applied that between the snow and the rain, so I suspect that it's probably still just literally sitting in the topsoil and hasn't gone down into the root zone or anything at all. So we'll keep watching. Alright, I'm down by McGrath today, and this was some of my first seeded barley in the area. This was seeded April 13th. It's emerged very well right now. You can see the rows just nice and clear. Emergence is very even. There's no big gaps. And that was because this was seeded quite deep. It was quite dry down here actually at the time, but it was seeded, you know, a good 1.5 inches, which is what usually we like to see. And that got into the moisture, got up and out of the ground pretty quick. And it really suffered very little frost damage in the last 2 weeks. So it did have some minor temperature banding last week in the snow, but that's totally disappeared now. But we do have wild oats really starting to emerge here. They're all still quite small. Like they're just starting to poke out of the ground. You can see the odd one here and there, but they are coming. So this'll be a field that we're definitely going to have to keep a watch on in season and take care of these at herbicide timing. Alright, here I'm in a pea field that was seeded on April 16th, and you can really see the effects of a little bit of shallow seeding and insufficient moisture it can do here. So we've got some peas that are just starting to emerge, and then we got some over here that are actually just starting to germinate now. So that's why it's important to, especially in a dry spring situation like this, to seed deep and seed even, so you can have a even maturity in the stand later on. Alright, I'm in the field now that I showed you about 2 weeks ago that had patches of wild oats really starting to pop up, and you can see they're really starting to come through now. It's getting pretty thick in this patch here, and the wheat really is just emerging. You can just start to see the rows now. So this is definitely going to be a field with very high pressure. Then we're going to have to use, you know, GP 100 or Simplicity Go Dry in season, and this is going to have Avadex or a trialate of some type in here next year for sure to help keep the pressure down. And that's it for this week. Like and subscribe to stay updated, and we'll see you next week.